Prior to,
Her page.
she also is a cashier. So, this new girl that's sharing that. It's a little bit easier for her to, I feel like she's got a home base somewhere. Like, you know what?
Me and someone.
So I call the Rome City Board of Appeals. 2020, 7 o'clock, roll call. Ron Clifton,
Here.
Kelly Morris, here, Art Chapman, here, Chris Kell, Eric Harris.
Hi there.
We have a four. We need to approve minutes from the last meeting.
I make a motion that we wait for the minutes.
Nice.
With this,
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
This motion carries. Under new business, variance 2025-21, Denise Black. You have four.
Oh. Good evening. My name is Sweet Spot and I'm the owner at 770 Lakeside. So we're applying for a variance so that we can put the cupola on top of the house. The ridge line of the roof is at 33 feet 3 inches. The allowed is 35 feet. With the cupola, it would put the top at 37 feet 4 inches. But as you can see, the majority of the roof is wouldn't need there. It's just I own across the street, I own the garage across the street. So that would not be an obstruction for anyone. Lots 9 and 11 on either side of me. There are garages back there, the property owners. And I don't believe this is going to obstruct anything on their garages. So they think their garages are gonna be fairly well. I don't know the exact height, but, and then both of the homes on either side, the windows are gonna lie, their windows would lie below the cupola, so it would be not be an obstruction to the tenants.
Yeah. So is there an existing home there?
Not anymore. It was demoed on
There was
Monday.
nothing there when we drove past today.
Yes, it was demoed on Monday.
So you're gonna have four, so.
Yes, this is new construction.
So you could read it underneath the variance requirements. You don't have to have this variance because you haven't done so. Yeah.
That would be true. It would change the entire structure of all of this. I mean, I'm not a builder, so I don't know how he would. We have a cathedral ceiling planned in this area, so we can have these windows in that, but
I mean, most of the people that come in here that request variances from us are because they have to have a pre-existing structure. But
we
you
did
really
for the
You're
aesthetic
gonna
guy.
have to wait, that's what I'm asking. You have to have a reason there from our ordinance. What's the reason?
Just the aesthetic appeal.
Unfortunately, under the ordinances and in the variances of the state of Indiana, because you want it or because it makes your house look better, isn't a reason to vary, really is. So, and you say right in your paperwork that it's not a hardship, so I'm not. I mean, do you have any reason why underneath Indiana code for a variance that would apply?
What would you use it for?
It was, if you look at this side of the house, the street side, it was just kind of plain. Originally, here we didn't have, well, we didn't have this or this. It just looked very plain to me, and so I asked the builder if he could adjust, like make some changes just to make it more appealing on the front of the house. And obviously it shows from the lakeside too.
So is there a way that he could adjust it and still get the cupola and not need to have a variance?
Well, we wouldn't be able to have a cathedral ceiling.
Sure, you got a blank slate, you cannot believe I've been on this board for 30 some years. And people get, like the people that are coming here next, want to stop and listen to that. Where you've got these jacked up size lots, where they're not square, you've got longer on one side than the other side, now you're trying to get a setback from the road and. Or, you're stuck with property lines that keep them building on top of property lines, which is what they did on this lake for years, okay? And now you're trying to get people off the property lines and those kind of things, so. We can't just grant things because people like them or want them, that we just can't. So if you can give us a reason,
Let me get my builder on the phone, and see if he has anything to add to that.
did you want to table this for a little bit and then we'll move on to the next one? Then we can.
He's supposed to be available. I asked him to be. Yeah. And then, I have you on speakerphone.
Yes.
So, so I presented and, they had a couple questions that I wasn't sure I could add anything to. So, would you please ask your question again?
Can you? Do something.
Well, I was just pointing out that you're tearing this house down, it's been torn down, you have a blank slate. I'm not sure why you can't come into compliance with all of our ordinances. That was number one. Number two, the fact that somebody wants something that's aesthetically pleasing is never grounds to vary from our ordinance. So I'm not sure that she hasn't presented to us a reason to vary from the ordinance. I don't know what you have in this situation.
Well, I think it's just an important, well, first of all, I think that all ordinances are supposed to be to ensure that the best product, the most pleasing product is put out there. And that it is done so in a way that does not affect anyone negatively. And this particular feature only enhances the house and does not affect anyone negatively. That's basically it. There's 3 feet. 3 feet of roof, a bridge that doesn't comply. And 99.9% of that roof complies. And so I don't understand why that would be a problem.
Because it doesn't meet the Indiana code or varying from
Well,
ordinances.
it meets all Indiana codes.
No, I'm talking about the statute of reasons to vary from ordinance.
Well, I don't have anything else to put towards this except what I just said. The spirit of that has been met. And, I think that a negative ruling would just go against the spirit of what that's all about. No negative effect. And, I've been doing this for 40 years. And when you try to do something positive and to be shot down for technicality is, in my opinion, is not right.
Mr. Delagrrange, is there a way that just whatever the amount is can just be reduced? Can you just take 2 foot out of one of the floors?
Okay, we can flatten. No, okay, so we can't just shorten the roof down of the cupola to make that work. We can flatten the whole structure down, but my goodness sakes, that looks worse in most people's opinion. So that's not the style of the house that, Denise wants. And, so you know, that would be the only way that, so you're lowering 99% of the roof to bring 3% of it into compliance. Or 3 feet into compliance. So yeah, the answer is yes, it could be lower. But it would be the entire roof.
I think we're off by 2 feet, 4 inches, Lynn.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm saying the length of the ridge, that is not in compliance.
Oh.
But yes, you're right.
Yeah, oh,
So and if you lower the ridge of the main part of the house, there's other gables and bridges that come into that would have to be lowered as well. So, that's kind of the problem there. I think there's a house just 2 or 3 doors down that we are well under, all of our roofs are well under what that roof is. So,
Well, unfortunately, we can't go on
I
what
know.
other people have, because some of that was done prior to code and.
no,
No. I mean, I suppose it'd be a slightly different conversation if this were an already established structure.
Right. but they tore down what was there, so there's nothing.
Which was basically Denise would admittedly say so, that it was not a safe building.
Right.
Yeah. I know, for the property, yeah, I'd be inclined to agree.
Is there anything else you wanted to present? Is it any interested parties? Any interested parties here in this area? Wish to be heard?
We have the 2 neighbors and Funston's returned, but with no comments.
Make a motion, we deny it. Because it doesn't meet our requirements. And a variance is not necessary since there's nothing there. I.
Thank you, Lynn.
So I'm gonna then is various 2825.
Give those to us, yes.
Ready.
Already.
I'm Austin Booker. I'm the contractor for, Chris and Frank Kopecki. We're asking for a 19-foot variance as opposed to the 25-foot ordinance. Pretty much, we're doing an addition, to the house. I'll actually come up here and point at it. Pretty much from there on is the addition, and there, the existing porch is right here and is already not in compliance. It's 21 feet away from the road edge. So pretty much we're just extending the front porch, but the rest of the addition we're doing is compliance. We think it'll add value to the neighborhood. We're not obstructing anything. There's several houses around that are in worse compliance or equal than we are. So we ask that you grant this variance.
You can bring any photos out.
I guess I do.
Can you bring it?
Here's a site plan. You can kind of see the lots that are on the angle. As most are around here.
So did you say that's gonna go partly along the side, or is it all straight out towards the road?
The only part that it's going straight out with the existing building. In fact, I can show you one there. if you'll allow me. So it's just going to continue straight from what the existing front porch is. That's the only area that's not in compliance.
So this little chunk here is making it out porch.
I'm sorry. Not all the way to the edge. I can, do you mind if I'll grab my plan? I thought it was gonna go in blue, but that's what I wrote it.
So when the snowplow goes past, how close does it come to getting what you have there now?
There's some, I measured, it doesn't get close to it. I measured one, I measured one next door, that's 10 feet away. So the existing porch is right here. And we're just pulling that porch up to there. So this is already 21 feet away.
And open.
That's an open porch.
So
So
you're not.
are you
coming closer
changing
than
the-
what-
No, we're not coming
Okay.
any closer to the road than what the
I went
existing
past
structure
there
is.
today and I'm sure where you were going.
you're putting in another entry too?
We're closing this in, turning this to water.
And then when you entry. in there.
That's correct,
why-
yes.
Okay. Let's not.
Yeah, just driving past doesn't really tell you.
Right, that's kind of confusing.
Where's that?
I know why you have to have. that.
Yes.
And so just clarify, make sure I got it.
Yep.
So the existing front is, I mean, the existing front is already at that to the road. This porch bit that they're adding on is not really getting any closer to the road than what's already there.
That's correct. We're just continuing straight with what's already there.
Okay, I'm just gonna let my feelings kind of be indicated. So, why are we having to discuss this one and not just move this one onward?
Well, I just had.
Sorry, Grouch, teach me to dealt with broken seniors all day today.
All right. Is everything else you wanted us to know? Any interested parties here on various 20 as far as
Yes.
What about the?
As the owner, I'd like to say something. They're adding. Sure, so you guys can see this. This is all being added, and I don't need a variance for any of that. So we've done this all right. These guys have done everything right. That started with the first conversation about doing this to our home. This is fine. You guys can measure anything you want. It's well within, I don't even need to get a variance from my neighbor for that. All we're doing is extending our front porch.
Yeah.
Not an enclosed front. They don't have a ceiling or roof on it. They don't have a post.
It's nice down the road.
Especially the winter.
Yeah.
I notified the 3 adjoining owners and 2 returned, and Brian, April Van Osdale said we approve of the petition.
Yeah, Make a motion that we approve variance 2025 dash.
I,
Thank you.
thank you.
We'll have some paperwork for you to sign. They're very proud of pictures of final products.
I've been by there.
It's very nice.
My daughter has a Saturday routine for us that we go get the mail, then we drive around the lake, and then we go see the buffalo. So with great interest, my two have been driving by that property every Saturday for the last 3 months. We approved it to just, it does.
I know, I knew
It is.
She's got you on a good.
She does.
Does it have a routine?
Just one. The Mrs. Works. Mrs. Works, Bolton's Bakery up in the range, so Saturday mornings are daddy daughter mornings. Friday night, my daughter tells me that she's gonna stay up with me to watch TV. We always watch Creature Habit. Always watch one of the Lord of the Rings movies until we both fall asleep on the couch. And then it's yep, mail, post office, drive around the lake, see the buffalo. And it was feeling really crazy, throwing cases together of blue slusher.
See, we can be nice. You gotta give us.
It makes sense.
There's a difference.
Let's make sure that the public record up there knows today.
I'm the one with the tombstones in the yard and so forth, so I did down Lakeside Drive at Halloween. But that front porch where Santa sits is really important, you know, and the witch.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm a witch, so,
My uncle's crazy about Halloween decorations.
well, they won't be out this year because.
So they were not. Yeah. We'll put a pumpkin out there.
I'll send you copies of those for now.
Yep. The old business table from James 16. Appeal 2025-26.
So we had a,
Table.
oh,
Thank you.
so they requested, Mr. Kruger, that's representing Swain, has requested to table it. We had a meeting.
Or maybe it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Lee and I had a Zoom meeting with Attorney for Niederman. To see about getting a resolution here that we can, yes. Okay, everybody's gonna be perfectly happy. So we discussed terms, and we come to a number, I guess, or at least tentatively a number for Sweeney to pay as far as a fine. He's also gonna be paying Niederman some compensation as part of this. And then there, the AC units on the short side of the property where it's close to the property, part of the agreement is gonna be removed to a different spot because they trued out further than anything else. So probably pretty close. Based on where that corner sits, I think that's the close corner.
You can just move this.
Yeah.
He's agreed to.
You can work those set lines anywhere.
Yeah, so they're gonna move somewhere else, because those, I think, intrude into that property line worse than anything, 'cause they're at ground level. So that was one of the big things. We're still kind of in a dispute on, the chimney, and what happens with that, that's like cantilever chimney that's 10 feet up, but.
Yeah, it's not.
So that one's still kind of floating, because we had told him in our discussion the other day that it's gonna. He did send over a settlement. Yeah, and I guess, and I talked to Lee about it, because the original variance, year and a half, or whenever that was. Niederman, the neighbor, was remonstrating, objecting about it, but it was that the chimney, and he said he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, either way, but that was one of the big objections of Niederman. It's now, I guess, accepting that, then. It would be held to die unnecessarily. And the settlement agreement talks about too that they wouldn't be allowed, they agree, and would be allowed any additional variances for that side yard, like they can't go back and request them or
Like that one side.
that side, yeah. So that they won't, after this is done, come back and try to get another variance that we're closer to. Which be granted, but or years down the road when there's potentially different board composition, and try to come back, but this would be agreeing them and any successors in title. And then again, essentially accepting the property as is constituted as a legal non-conforming, meaning if it's to be torn down again, rebuilt, then they still have to comply. But this also would give us, well, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't need torn down, it's a brand new house, but
It looks good.
so it's hard to tell. But so that's kind of the idea of the. Oh, and then the bathroom, yes, that was the other thing, but he didn't have anything in the settlement agreement about, to remove it. I didn't see anything. about
We
it.
already removed it. We already removed it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in there
And
about.
nobody's ever come. We called the inspector.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever come.
The inspector was supposed to be called by your attorney.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
yeah,
so
so
I'll
the,
be out there, but so
So
the
the
inspectors
Here
will
to
come in.
listen.
yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with this nonsense. I'm just here to
So-
listen. I'm not here to speak.
So the
Let me talk about-
bathroom in the detached garage that was supposed to be there has since been removed, but the inspection needs to come out, or inspector needs to come out, check it. Because I don't think it ever got a final as-built or an occupancy permit. So that needs to be accomplished, so the inspectors can come out. So I emailed
Yes, it did.
Swing's attorney to let them know what that meant as far as decommissioning the bathroom. So they have that information, what the building inspector is gonna require, you can see. So that's to be remedied as well. And I think that was it, but essentially he sent out the settlement agreement today, so we haven't really got a chance.
But he did have to pay some penalty for working with the.
Well, that's part of the agreement, yes. Yeah, we agreed on the terms on that as well as you and the neighbor on compensation for this too, so. Everybody is content, because that was the kind of the issue that I brought with Kruger, was that we can't just settle with them if the neighbor's still gonna appeal, and then we're still going to court, so we need everybody like this. And it doesn't behoove the town to resolve it, because we're still gonna go to court and spend thousands of dollars for everybody, but. So that's kind of the idea. Tentatively, we need to iron out the details, but I think
You made a lot of headway.
we're close enough to having a bow on it, so we don't have to have another judicial appeal, of course. But Lee and I will talk to Kruger and Iron. Got a chance to read through it twice this afternoon before I came, but I haven't got a chance to get back to it. Right.
Table PO 2025.
Still sitting there. I have to get through the 200 and some pages of stuff to confirm that it's the full record, so we can sign a confirmation of the confirmation that it's the record of the board, so we can have our trial date set. So that's what that one's at. And then they transcribed their own audio recording of 2 of the 3 hearings. I'm not sure what they're,
Looked like they were
but they don't-
recording every
but
time.
they don't know who's who. So I think they were just, anyone that was the board, they're just gonna say board member, not even, because they want me to do it.
Except Tom, they picked him.
So I'm not gonna go
They
through.
wanted
and put
me to do
names on
it, and I'm like,
It's-
I don't have the recorder, so if I could hear the recorder,
But why
then I
would-
might know who's talking, but if I don't,
Well, they sent me them in Dropbox, but I couldn't. do it.
I can never get.
I
those.
didn't.
No,
I didn't.
I agree. Me either. It was our job.
Right.
Well, if we had our own recording, then we would be.
We would have transcribed.
We would have been obligated to transcribe it because it's part of the record, but we didn't, it's not our record, it's not our business record to transcribe. If they want to transcribe it, do it, it's a supplement to it, so that's, I told them and they did, they got something to transcribe. So that's. I don't.
Great.
Yeah. Well, trying to avoid the next head, but. Keep this one.
What did she have?
Okay, anything else, we can adjourn it.
I mean, motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
This is for me. Thank you for being awesome.
Awesome.
I can't get this thing to shut off.
Well, I read it, but thank you, so I figured it was positive.